Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Well, in the end, it looks quite comfortable. City start the season with a 3-0 win away from home, Turf Moor against Burnley. Did actually make loads of notes, but I left them downstairs, so it doesn't really matter. Main thing is, I think, obviously that City won the game, got the 3 points. That's all I wanted from this game. Said my lucky shirt would do the business, and lucky shirt. We needed a bit of luck in that game. Heinz O'Habe, yeah, a good start for City. Haaland, what can you say? The fella hasn't scored for 6 games, and he scores 2 nice goals. He, made that space for himself, and some good finishes. That second goal was a real beauty of a finish. Hi, Salzburg 49 for laugh. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with KDB. I didn't watch, didn't listen to any comments at halftime. If they do know anything, I have not heard about that. And Panit, yeah, negatives or injuries that KDB. We'll see. I guess Pep will give hopefully something away as to the nature of the injury. He may not be able to tell you about the severity of the injury, but hopefully we'll find out. Yeah, forgot about Walker right at the death, where he got vicious. It wasn't a tackle because it wasn't a tackle at all. It was a vicious assault on Kyle Walker, and he went down. Excuse me, went down pretty bad. Spinning around on the floor. That's must have hurt, and quite rightly the fella got sent off. Yeah, Panit, we started with Diaz, who's got a concussion, so he cannot be picked until at least next weekend. Could have 7 days off. He had the concussion on Friday, so that gets him through to Thursday, and then they'll have to assess whether he's ready. Stones, I don't know what is wrong with Stones. Dre, yeah, absolutely up and running. It's good. Haaland, once again, not a lot of touches, got the goal. Second half, I think, a couple of times, a few players were guilty of holding on to the ball too long, making the wrong decisions, but it was, yeah, I think we were cruising at that point, so I think it didn't really matter. But I don't care. I want to be clinical at all times. I don't care how much we're winning by how easy it is. I want a team to be professional and clinical. Yeah, Drew, you thought it was a straight red? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell. Look, I wasn't even sure the referee was going to pull his yellow card out, but then they said he was deliberating whether it could be a little bit worse than yellow. Good warm-up, says Sean. A good warm-up. Haaland back in form, and City have plenty left. Oh, look, City got plenty in the tank. You got to look at it. Diaz not playing. Stonesy not there. Guardiola on the bench. Grealish on the bench. KDB had to come off. Yeah, there's a lot still to happen at City. Plenty. It's a bit look, the first half, despite us getting 2 goals and despite us having periods of play where we were pretty much in control, obviously, there were periods of play in that first half where we looked pretty sloppy, lackadaisical, slapdash even. We weren't focused, we weren't concentrating, and that first half looked like we'd come back from pre-season too early, or holiday too early. We didn't have enough in our tank. But once we started motoring, we started purring in that second half. It was a bit boring, but that's how I think we wanted to make it. And eventually we could make a lot of subs in that second half. Good to see Cole Palmer come on with about 12 minutes plus the injury time, which made it about 18 minutes to go. And McAtee for the last couple of minutes as well. Let's go through some comments. Doofus. Say it looked good up to see more of McAtee. Do you think he stays or leaves on loan? I think the fact he's played is great for him. I can see him potentially. I mean, I'd want McAtee and Palmer to stay. I think McAtee will stay. I think if he was going to go out on loan, we'd have done it already. But it might be that they're assessing him and will leave a decision until as late as possible. Spencer might say, look good. Second half, yeah. First half, we looked a bit dodgy, didn't we, at times? Can't leave Foden out naturally. Must be in the first 11 every game. I think he played reasonably well. The problem for Foden playing in an attacking midfield position at any rate is losing the ball in dangerous positions. And I saw him do it at least once. And that, and then he didn't chase back. And that's something I've not seen from Foden. You lose the ball, you bust a gut to get back. And I didn't see it, and I was not happy. Dre says opposition fans must go crazy. Luca Lewis, first game away from home, and they're throwing. Well, it wasn't cash. It was, I think, his was a cigarette lighter, and the fella got caught. Yeah, it was a nasty thing to do. Fellas got caught for that, and then someone invaded the pitch. I don't know what all that was about. Andy Hall bows to Pep. Great result with an understrength team. There you go. Paqueta is all City needs. Well, I can see Paqueta happening. I said that. I said my gut feeling is that Paqueta happens. My gut feeling is that City will push. Unusually for City, we'll push a bit harder, a bit further than we normally do. I think we want. Basically, I think we want Paqueta, and I can just see us getting him. We've seen the transfer fees have gone bonkers. I mean, Declan Rice, 105 million quid. You're having a laugh. And now Moses Caicedo is going for 111 million. I hear that Chelsea are going to bid 115 million to make sure they get him. It's blows your mind. Bloke who ran on the pitch wanted his goal pop back. Well, it was a lighter. Kovacic is so good he fits City. He made some errors, I think, but I mean, look, pundits, ex-footballers look at the positive that people did, and I look at some of the negative. So he made a couple of errors, but he looks all right. He looks all right. Akanji was a disappointment at times. He played well. I mean, commentators were saying he played well, but he made, in my mind, at least 3 poor errors, errors of judgment, and that's a worry. Hey, Bill, I hope you're well. Another good game, absolutely. Rodri's, I mean, if you had him in your fantasy teams, I hope you did, because he must have got 3 points, 2 points for playing, 1 point for clean sheet. He scored a goal and he got an assist, I think. So the goal and the assist are worth 8, and the others worth 3. That's 11 points for a cheap player. Wow. Sean, to be honest, Foden loses the ball, I think, more than Grealish, but I think Foden looks a lot more dangerous. He's still 20% off for me. He's still got to go. Still got a bit more to do. I don't know, Dre. To be honest, I didn't notice. Look, maybe it's just the first game. I feel like I want to see more from Alvarez. I worry that he's going to be that kind of player that I'll always want more from. Maybe I'll never be satisfied. Maybe it's me just being harsh, but I think he should have done better. I worry about KDB long term. Well, Andy, there's no long term for KDB. He's got a couple of years at the top level, I reckon, left in him. That's it. Come on, let's let it go, man. Let it go. Let it go. That game against Atletico. Gvardiol looks a real athlete. He looks a beast. He looks a menace. You don't want to meet him in a dark alleyway in the middle of nowhere. Maybe KDB's last season. I don't think so, Andy. I think unless it's a terrible season for KDB, I think he'll be here for at least this season and the next. Rodri's king, absolutely. Rico Lewis was really bad. Was really bad? I don't think so, Punny. I quite like Rico Lewis. What I like about Rico Lewis is he keeps it simple. I thought Akanji was worse than Rico Lewis. And when Cole Palmer came on, there's one moment when I think Walker was trying to burst down on the right, and I think in last season, Cole Palmer would have been looking for a pass that maybe would have been so good. In the end, he just turned around and passed it back. And I just think he's hopefully learning that, it's Pep wants players who can keep the ball. Oh, man, Zohaib, well done. Well, man, hopefully you're not in my fantasy team. Are you in my fantasy team, Zohaib? That would kill me. I got 20 points this week so far, and that's all on Haaland. All on Haaland. Let's have a look. Yeah. So I'm quite pleased there. All my points are on. He's going to get Rodri's going to get you loads of points. I suspect that game. He might get some bonus points as well. Yep, Rodri gets 2 bonus points as well. So he's going to get you, I reckon, something like 13 points. Bonkers. But having said that, Haaland's going to get 13 points as well, I think, for his performance. And so you'll get good numbers out of those guys. You drop. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Andy. Got to have faith. Great win, says Sean. Absolutely. Vardy even end up attacking in the box later on. Yeah, we're going to have an interesting side. That's the one. But Punny, not the only one. Foden did. Kanji certainly did. I think Kovacic lost it once, so I'm not too worried. Go back to for a young lad playing in different positions, we can stop raw. Yeah, no, his composure is fantastic. Look, it does help playing in the City side. You look much better than potentially you are playing in the City side. Haaland, Rodri, and you've absolutely. Why would you triple captain him, Zohaib? No. You don't triple captain him. I didn't have Rodri in my fantasy team, just Haaland. But I wouldn't triple captain him. I'm going to wait till it's a double game week, and then you do your triple captain. Then you do your bench boost, that kind of stuff. Sean doesn't like fantasy. I don't mind it. Look, if I'm in a league and I'm fighting and I'm near the top, yeah, then I'll put the effort in. If I don't have a good start, I tend to give up a little bit. 6 minutes extra. So are they going to justify 8 for the community? I have no idea, Dre. No idea. I mean, 6 actually was, but then they played a little bit more as well because of that red card and the injury to Benson as well. But look, gotta be happy. Haaland had some good touches, obviously 2 clinical finishes. I think he should have scored a hat trick. We made some poor decisions as well in attacking areas. I think Alvarez made a poor decision with one of his shots. Haaland, I think he should have passed out to Lewis on the left, and he passed to Alvarez, and that didn't work out. Rodri with a bad decision making, and then that glass half empty person in me says, on another day we don't get the luck, we're in trouble. You've got to take your chances. You've got to be more clinical. You can't rely on the fact that you're 2 or 3-0 ahead. Keep the hammer down. Keep that hammer down. Go on to get 4 and 5, and make sure from the first day that goal difference is not going to come into it. We're going to be miles ahead of everybody. So Hib says, I like Foden. Today, every time on the ball, he was always dragging us forward. That's what I love about Phil Foden. And he says, I loved it when Haaland was the furthest player back. Good for team morale that an attacker is helping out in the box. You remind you of Kane? Well, Foden provided tons of energy. Absolutely. You notice now we're going to be a higher energy team. We had Foden start. We had Rico Lewis start. We had Alvarez start and Bernardo Silva. High energy. It's going to be more energy than, with all due respect, Gundogan. And Gundogan's irreplaceable, but he doesn't provide that high energy. Rodri, man of the match, I can't argue with that, to be honest, Sean. Rodri or Haaland. Rodri got an assist. He got a goal. He had a decent game. Haaland, 2 great goals. And even sometimes, you might be saying, that was a tap and it was easy. It was the movement, that ability to find the space when the ball comes in, that there's no defenders there, and it ends up being a tap-in. I was asked about Paqueta after his match release. I think we need him. Excuse me. I think we do need somebody, because obviously KDB is our creativity. And you looked at that when KDB went off and you thought, where's the creativity coming from? It's not going to come from Kovacic. Rodri's okay. Foden can create. But where else? Obviously, without Gundogan, creativity is gone. So I think we're going to get him. So Hib says Rodri is on a different level, and Alvarez should be a bit better. I agree. Rodri was man of the match, says Sean. Haaland just said we should sometimes play more direct from the keeper. Interesting. Look, we did it a couple of times. I mean, there was one that went through, and he just needed to control it, and he was through. There was 2 or 3 times. Look, Haaland wants that ball as quick as possible. He wants, whether it's punted long, played short, played just in front of him, or whatever, He wants that ball quickly because he wants to take, he wants to create an opportunity or have an opportunity created for him and to take a chance to score. And if you sometimes play it up early, it was a couple of occasions he'll be 1-on-1, and eventually he will score. So Hibbs reckons Rodgers had control it in midfield. Douglas says they were very good, but we were better. No, give Burnley credit. They pressed us without overcommitting, but some of that press was just standing there waiting for us to do something. But they did press us, and I didn't think we tried as hard as we used to. If the David Silva was there, I'm sure we'd have tried a lot harder to beat the press and be very tight, nick it away here and there, and charge forward. But I always want us to play faster. Always want us to play faster. Dre says, loving Edison's long balls, second half, gonna keep pressing teams, keeping teams honest. That's it. Rather time Barella from Inter than Paqueta, much better player. It's going to wait and see, guys. It really is going to be wait and see what happens. I said it was it a week or two ago that I expect us to buy at least one more player, if not two. Now, two names that have been mentioned again and again have been Paqueta, obviously, and I think we really want him, and Jeremy Doku. His name has been mentioned again. Now, there's talk of him being available for 50 million quid, which is honestly, it's ridiculous, that price. For me, he's a 20 to 30 million pound player. But with the market the way it is, I can see Stade de Reims asking for 50 million and expecting to get it. Punit says I may be wrong, but I felt last season mental fatigue is affecting his showing. Guys looked tired. The first half, we didn't look at the races. Second half, obviously, we were in control and we basically passed the game to death. But that's the thing. Sometimes even when you're tired, adrenaline kicks in. I see it myself when I'm working in theatres. I might be absolutely bushed. I mean, there was one gig I had about 2 or 3 hours sleep because there's a lot of there's a domestic and a lot of noise in the hotel I was staying at, and I had honestly about 2 or 3 hours sleep, and I killed it the next day with the shows. Because I mean, the first one was a bit slow, and then after that, I think we did five 1-hour shows that day. Was that the one I did? No, it might be. No, I did three 1.5-hour shows. Sorry, but I killed it because I was buzzing. So after every show, I was buzzing even more for the next one. So, once muscle memory kicks in, once you remember that you're a professional footballer and you're going to put the effort in, then I think City, especially in that second half, slip back into what we're used to. Hope Company is okay this season. Yeah, it's going to be hard. I hope they don't treat him like Vieira was treated at Palace. Vieira was treated tragically at Palace. He loses the tough games against the better sides in the league, and then they boot him and let Hodgson play against the bottom teams. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a stab in the back if I ever saw one. Andy says, I think Paqueta is very overrated. I don't see it. We end up paying the same as we could have got Rice for. But different players. Paqueta is going to be a creative player, and we need a creative player. Now, it may be Pep was hoping that one of the kids could show enough in pre-season that we didn't need to go out and spend the money, but I think they decided they need to buy someone good. Yeah, Bernardo's decent. I enjoyed Bernardo. As I said, I like the hard work. I noticed in the second half he came back a bit more to in the first half as well, to collect the ball, to help give us a bit more composure and calm us down. Top of the league. Absolutely. Will we be top after the weekend? I don't think so. I can see Arsenal getting a good win this weekend. No, Punny. I mean, Cancelo was not in the squad, was he? I don't want him. So hopefully him not being in the squad to either one or two things or both tells him he's not wanted and he's not going to get much game time, and also maybe he's someone wants him and we don't want to get him injured like Pep did with Leroy Sané a few years ago. Palmer going on loan. I hope not. But he's got to have much more game time. He's got to do better. But What I saw today was a better Cole Palmer. He wasn't taking the risk so he's not. It wasn't an exciting Cole Palmer, but it's hopefully the Cole Palmer that Pep wants. It's a guy that is safe and secure, and at times is explosive and surprising. That's what he wants. He doesn't want a guy who's going to take chances all the time. Doku would suit our system well, and under Pep would do well because we need to remember that he's not a big club at the moment, so his stats are not going to be the best. His stats are okay. I just think that his pace is going to absolutely destroy teams. It's clearly Pep. Don't rate Calvin. Oh yeah. I mean, Calvin. I don't think he got on, did he? I don't think he got on. Right, guys. And there's a load of you on, but I'm tired. I've been up early. I've been out most of the day. Got home just to watch the football. Got an early start in the morning, so I'm gonna start the wind down. What is going to happen with Calvin? As it looks like he's not gonna. I think City wanted him to leave, and he wants to stay. What will happen with Calvin? Unless someone comes and puts a good bid and drags him away, I can see Calvin winning a few more trophies this season without playing that many games. Rodri, 200 million players love him, says Kathy. Come on, Forest, says Sean. I love Kovacic already, says Panini. He's a difference maker who does not make a lot of fuss. And Sean sees unfortunately SCF on. Yeah, I see Arsenal winning, Zoe, I agree. Right, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. First game of the new Premier League season. City, after a tough first half, did what was required. We won the game. We kept a clean sheet. We looked back in a groove in the second half. Haaland scored a couple of goals, one of them an absolute beauty. He got into positions in the right places to create that space and get his goals. Lot to like about the game. Even young James Trafford, ex of City, had a decent game despite letting 3 goals in. He made all the regular stuff he did. He did it without any fuss. So that's going to be. I'm going to watch out to see what he does this season. Right, guys, take care. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Please hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. And we will see you around Blues. Take care.